Today we'll go back in time to explore the secrets behind the eternal beauty of 15 Hollywood legends from the last century. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next captivating stories. Now let's begin the journey to decode these iconic looks. Which transformation impressed you the most? Leave a comment below and let me know. Carmen Delorefis. The world's longest-running supermodel is a living monument to graceful and enduring beauty. She began her modeling career in the 1940s and continues to stride the catwalk to this day. Carmen is candid about using treatments like facial sanding and silicone injections since the 1950s to maintain her perfect bone structure. For her, maintaining beauty is like caring for a valuable mansion, requiring persistence and thoughtful investment. Carmen's beauty is not a type of artificial youthfulness, but the elegance and sophistication of a woman who knows how to master the aging process. She combines a strict diet and exercise regimen with subtle cosmetic interventions to create a harmonious whole. Her snow-white hair has become a signature, paired with smooth skin and sharp facial bone structure to produce an irresistible allure. Carmen has proven that aesthetics can help people age gracefully and with pride. Carmen Delorefis' journey is a tribute to dedication to beauty and absolute professionalism. She does not hide the fact that she has relied on medical interventions to maintain her appearance, seeing it as part of her work and a sign of respect for the fashion industry. Her story serves as an inspiration for all women to love and care for themselves at every stage of life. Carmen is not beautiful merely because of cosmetic procedures. She is beautiful because she possesses a free spirit and a steadfast will in preserving the beauty of a legend. Elizabeth Taylor, the woman with mesmerizing violet eyes, seemed to be gifted by nature with every exquisite feature. However, living in Hollywood's golden era, the pressure to maintain flawless beauty under close-up cameras was immense. She is said to be one of the first stars to turn to early facelift and nose surgery to refine features that were already stunning. For Liz, enhancing her appearance was not about changing herself, but about preserving a masterpiece admired by the world. Her journey to maintain beauty spanned decades, running alongside the highs and lows of 8 marriages and numerous iconic roles. Every crow's foot or sagging sign of aging was skillfully addressed with the most advanced techniques of the time. She faced aging with iron will, viewing surgeries as an inevitable part of her profession. The pride of a queen would not allow her to appear with a weary appearance, and that was her way of showing respect to the public. Elizabeth Taylor proves that beauty is a dazzling crown, but also a heavy burden. She maintained the title of the most beautiful in the world through a blend of natural features and refined medical care. Liz Taylor's powerful aura and expressive eyes remain unique, reminding us that perfection comes from perseverance and self-love. What impresses you most about her beauty? Comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and leave a sub to support us. Marlene Dietrich, the thorned rose of Germany, was famous for her icy, razor-sharp beauty. To achieve her high cheekbones and hauntingly deep eye sockets on screen, she did not hesitate to undergo extreme beauty methods. Rumor has it that she even had her molars removed to create the ideal facial hollows, allowing studio lighting to cast perfect shadows. It was a painful physical trade-off for just a few moments of brilliance in classic black and white frames. In addition, Marlene was a master of self-surgery using makeup techniques and manually stretching her facial skin. She often used medical tape hidden under her hair to pull the temple area, creating a powerful cat-eye effect. Her meticulousness reached the extreme, with every camera angle and light beam serving the carefully calculated appearance. For Marlene, her face was not just a part of the body, but a work of art that needed to be sculpted by hand to reach the threshold of the divine. Marlene. Dietrich's life is a declaration of total mastery over one's personal image. She did not wait for time to destroy her beauty, but actively shaped it according to her will, regardless of pain or inconvenience. Her sharpness inspired countless generations about the power of creating one's own beauty. Until her final days, she kept her aged appearance private so the world would always remember a Marlene who was glamorous, angular, and never submissive to the laws of nature. Joan Crawford was the epitome of relentless effort and ambition, dominating the silver screen for decades. As she entered middle age, the fear of being phased out of Hollywood drove her to undergo bold facelift and neck lift surgeries in 1953. She regarded maintaining her beauty as a matter of survival, a serious investment in her acting career. Every cut of the scalpel for Joan was not just a change in appearance, but a statement that she still had the allure to stand under the spotlight. Not stopping at surgery, Joan was also famous for harsh skincare routines, such as washing her face with ice-cold water every morning to tighten facial muscles. She had iron discipline in maintaining her figure and presence, always appearing with bold eyebrows and vividly powerful lips. Medical interventions helped her preserve sharpness, allowing her to convincingly embody strong, decisive female roles. For Joan, aging was a failure she was determined never to let happen. Joan Crawford's story reflects the harsh side of fame, where a woman's value was equated with youth. By using cosmetic surgery as a weapon to maintain her status, she demonstrated an unrelenting fighting spirit in a turbulent world. Though controversial, her dedication to beauty made her an irreplaceable icon. What do you think about using aesthetics to protect Joan's stardom? Leave a comment below and don't forget to like, share, and leave a sub to support us. Dean Martin, the king of cool, with his warm baritone, always appeared with a strangely confident, rakish charm. Yet early in his career, the singer felt self-conscious about his slightly bulky nose, worrying it might diminish his appeal next to handsome co-stars. A delicate nostril reduction surgery was performed subtle enough to give his face a more refined look while preserving his inherent masculinity. It was a pivotal step that helped him shine with confidence. This small change had a huge impact, turning Dean Martin into an icon of sophistication throughout the 20th century. He did not overuse surgery to become someone else, but rather used it as a tool to enhance what was already there. Audiences were captivated by his suave presence on stage, rarely noticing the medical intervention, as everything looked so natural and harmonious. Dean proved that male aesthetics also require subtlety and restraint to achieve the greatest effect. Dean Martin's journey conveys a gentle message about self-love and daring to change to gain confidence. He never let surgery become the focus of attention. Instead, he used his newfound confidence to deliver timeless music and laughter to the public. Dean's beauty was not in flawless perfection, but in the composed elegance of a man who knew how to master his appearance to serve his passionate pursuit of art. John Wayne, an icon of strength and the American spirit, seemed the least likely to turn to cosmetic procedures. However, even the screen hero could not escape the harshness of aging as he entered his 60s. To maintain the image of a rugged yet vibrant cowboy, he secretly underwent eyelid and facelift surgery in the late 1960s. This was a difficult decision for a man who always valued ruggedness and naturalness. John Wayne's cosmetic intervention was carried out very discreetly, mainly to lighten his facial heaviness and make his eyes appear more alert on camera. He understood that audiences needed a symbol of reliability and strength, and a more youthful appearance would help him continue conveying those values through his roles. This change did not diminish his signature ruggedness and grit, but simply helped him maintain the stature of a legend during the later years of his illustrious career. John Wayne's story shows that cosmetic surgery is not only for women or those who love glamour, but can also be a tool to maintain a professional image. He embraced the scalpel as a form of respect for fans who always wanted to see their idol strong and charismatic on screen. John Wayne will always be the great cowboy, a man who dared to face both on-screen enemies and the ravages of time with courage and practicality. Burt Lancaster was famous for his muscular physique as an acrobat and his striking angular face. However, the actor was also one of the few male stars of his time to openly admit regularly maintaining his face over the decades. He believed that cosmetic surgery was part of an artist's responsibility to keep their working tool, their appearance, in top condition. For Burt, every facelift or eye area refinement was done in service of his craft. Unlike many who kept it secret, Burt Lancaster had a rather open and pragmatic view of medical aesthetics. He didn't want audiences distracted by deep wrinkles or a tired face while he was trying to convey a character's intense emotions. Smart interventions helped him extend his peak years, allowing him to take on roles requiring elegance and charisma even into his 70s. He is proof that cosmetic procedures can go hand in hand with professionalism. Burt Lancaster's beauty journey demonstrates adaptability and respect for his profession, where caring for his appearance only reinforced his determination to maintain a rugged, enduring image. His legacy is not only in classic films, but also in a modern mindset of using medical aesthetics to refine oneself. What impresses you most about Burt Lancaster's transformation? Leave a comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and leave a sub to help us share more meaningful stories. Mary Pickford, America's sweetheart, was one of the biggest stars of the silent film era. Carrying an intense fear of aging before the eyes of millions of fans, she decided to undergo a facelift at a time when the technology was still very rudimentary. Unfortunately, the surgery left lasting effects, causing her facial muscles to become overly tight and robbing her of natural expressiveness, an essential quality for a silent film actress. This was a heartbreaking tragedy in her quest for youth. This incident gradually forced Mary Pickford to retreat from the spotlight while her talent was still shining brightly. She could no longer smile or frown freely as before, leaving her feeling trapped within her own face. Her story became a quiet warning to Hollywood at the time about the risks of overusing surgery when medical science was not yet fully developed. Mary paid an extremely high price, her career and joy of life, in exchange for a timeless appearance. Despite the challenges in her cosmetic journey, Mary Pickford is still remembered as a powerful woman who co-founded United Artists. Her story reminds us of the importance of safety and careful consideration before deciding to alter oneself. It is her inner beauty and intellect that truly endure, surpassing any physical imperfections. Mary serves as a lesson in sacrifice and courage for those pioneering in the field of beauty. Cher is not only a singer and an Oscar-winning actress, but also an icon of absolute freedom in shaping oneself. She was one of the few stars of the previous century to openly embrace cosmetic surgery with pride and defiance. "If I want to put my breasts on my back, that's my business." Her famous quote encapsulates her life philosophy. For Cher, cosmetic procedures, rhinoplasty, breast augmentation, facelifts, and more were a way to take control of her body and reflect a spirit of youth that never fades. With each passing decade, Cher appeared with a new look, radiant and more energetic than ever. She never chased any standard, but created her own. Surgical interventions by top doctors helped her maintain smooth skin and a toned figure that amazed the world. She viewed beauty enhancements as a privilege and a way to celebrate her dazzling existence in this world. Cher transformed cosmetic surgery into an art of self-liberation. Cher's story is a powerful inspiration for breaking age-related stereotypes, proving that happiness comes from living authentically and confidently shining with timeless beauty. She affirms that age is just a number, and everyone has the right to use medical tools to feel their best. Cher's perseverance is the most effective rejuvenation for the soul. What impresses you most about Cher's spirit? Leave a comment, and don't forget to like, share, and hit subscribe to support us. Amid the dazzling glamour of the 1950s, Marilyn Monroe appeared as a perfect creation of nature. Few knew that behind that radiant smile was a soul burdened with pain and an obsession with perfection. The young Norma Jean quietly turned to the earliest technologies to craft her stunning appearance. Later medical records revealed a silent journey in which she meticulously refined every detail to transform herself into the most iconic sex symbol of all time. Marilyn's transformation journey was not merely about surgical interventions on her nasal cartilage or chin, but a meticulously crafted image-building strategy. She bravely endured the pain of electrolysis to raise her hairline, giving her forehead a more refined and elegant appearance. Every minor change was carefully calculated so that under the spotlight, her face had no flaws. It was the quiet sacrifice of a woman determined to take control of her own destiny and beauty. Marilyn's story reminds us that beauty is sometimes a combination of nature's gift and human resilience. Despite undergoing cosmetic procedures, her charisma and presence were things no doctor could create. The confidence she gained from these transformations allowed her to conquer the world, turning the name Marilyn Monroe into an immortal legend. For her cosmetic surgery was not about artificiality, but the key that opened the door to stardom for a talent that was already blazing. Michael Jackson, the king of pop, was one of the most controversial figures regarding appearance in music history. However, behind the faces that changed over the decades lies a painful story of childhood and deep insecurities. Michael once shared his self-consciousness about his large nose, mocked by his father when he was a child. The early surgeries were likely simply a desire to erase those sad memories and create a version of himself that he could love more. As time went on, the changes to Michael's face became increasingly pronounced and shocking to the public. He had to contend with vitiligo, which caused loss of skin pigmentation along with the after effects of previous surgeries. The world viewed him with judgment, but few understood the physical and emotional pain he endured. Each appearance with a new look was like Michael trying to build a protective shell around his sensitive soul against the immense pressures of fame and scrutinizing eyes. Michael Jackson's cosmetic journey should not be viewed through the lens of criticism, but with deep empathy. It was the path of a solitary genius constantly seeking a definition of beauty and perfection in a world full of judgment. No matter how his face changed, his voice and dance moves continued to evoke intense emotions in millions of people. Michael lived a brilliant yet tear-filled life where appearance was only a small part of the symphony of his tumultuous existence. Dolly Parton is a rare figure in the entertainment industry, openly embracing cosmetic surgery as part of her image. Known for her quote, "It cost a lot of money to look this cheap," she transformed her glamorous appearance into a signature brand. Through procedures such as breast augmentation, facelifts, and her iconic wigs, Dolly has never hidden her enhancements. She views cosmetic surgery as a form of self-expression and a way to maintain her distinctive look. Dolly Parton's honesty has earned her admiration rather than criticism. She knows what she wants and confidently follows her own path regardless of traditional beauty standards. For Dolly, beauty comes from confidence, and if cosmetic surgery makes her happy, she embraces it. Her wit and humor in responding to public comments have only strengthened her reputation as a confident and authentic personality. Despite her highly enhanced appearance, Dolly Parton remains humble, warm, and generous. She has used her wealth and fame to support charitable causes helping children and underserved communities. Beneath her glamorous image lies a kind heart and remarkable musical talent. Dolly has shown that cosmetic surgery does not define a person's worth when it is embraced with confidence and self-awareness. Even in her later years, Dolly Parton remains vibrant and inspiring, encouraging women to take charge of their own lives. She shows that there is nothing wrong with enhancing one's appearance if it brings confidence and happiness. Her story celebrates personal freedom, self-acceptance, and honesty. Dolly remains a lasting icon who turned a carefully crafted image into a reflection of genuine inner beauty. Goldie Hawn was long admired for her radiant smile, expressive eyes, and lively personality. As she grew older, she underwent cosmetic procedures such as fillers and facelifts to maintain a youthful appearance. At times, these treatments made her face appear fuller and less natural than before. Some fans expressed disappointment, feeling that her signature charm was altered by procedures they considered unnecessary. Despite the changes in her appearance, Goldie Hawn has remained confident, positive, and full of life. Rather than obsessively chasing youth, she continues to embrace life with enthusiasm and joy. For her beauty is not just about looking young, but also about the energy and warmth she shares with others. She accepts aging as a natural part of a meaningful and well-lived life. Goldie Hawn often emphasizes the importance of mental well-being and finding happiness in everyday life. She does not let public comments about her appearance affect her joy or her close family relationships. While cosmetic procedures may have changed some of her features, they do not diminish the grace and talent that defined her career. She remains a symbol of kindness, femininity, and inspiration for younger generations of actors. Looking back on Goldie Hawn's journey, it reflects a balance between personal choice and accepting the natural process of aging. Cosmetic surgery may have been only a small part of her story, not something that defines her. She reminds us that while time can change our appearance, it cannot diminish a joyful spirit. Goldie remains a timeless figure who continues to shine with grace, confidence, and individuality. The Duchess of Alba Cayetana, Fitzjames Stewart, was known for her noble heritage and classic Spanish beauty. In her later years, she reportedly underwent several cosmetic procedures in an effort to maintain a youthful appearance. Over time, these treatments significantly altered her features, making her look quite different from her younger self. Her appearance often attracted public attention, sparking both curiosity and criticism. Despite public criticism, Cayetana Fitzjames Stewart never expressed regret about her appearance. She lived a vibrant life filled with passion for flamenco and a deep love of living until her final days. Cosmetic surgery may have been just another way she expressed her independent, rebellious spirit. Even as her appearance changed, her energy and zest for life remained strong, reflecting her sense of freedom and individuality. The Duchess of Alba's confidence was remarkable as she largely ignored society's strict beauty standards. She made no effort to conceal signs of aging or cosmetic procedures. Instead, she often appeared in bold outfits with a bright smile reflecting her strong spirit. She became a symbol of living life fully where inner joy mattered more than outward appearance. When she passed away, Cayetana Fitzjames Stewart was remembered more for her vibrant life and kindness than for her appearance. She showed that cosmetic surgery may change how someone looks, but it cannot change a free spirit. Her true beauty came from her courage to be herself, despite public judgment. Ultimately, this raises a simple question: is being true to yourself more important than appearance? Rita Hayworth, an icon of 1940s glamour, underwent a harsh transformation to conform to Hollywood's beauty standards of the time. Born with Spanish heritage dark hair and a low forehead, she had to erase her natural distinctive features. For an entire year, she endured painful electrolysis sessions to remove every stray hair along her hairline, creating a higher, more refined hairline, and transforming herself into a quintessential American lady. This transformation did not stop at her hairline. It also involved dyeing her naturally black hair a fiery red, the hair color that would later become her signature. Rita accepted leaving her former self behind to don a more dazzling persona under the spotlight. The change was so successful that the public almost entirely forgot her true origins. Facing the mirror, Rita likely saw a completely different woman, someone admired by the world, yet carrying private reflections on the sacrifices made to her identity. Rita Hayworth's journey is a testament to the harsh realities of the entertainment industry in the past century, where individuality sometimes had to yield to public taste. However, it was precisely this courageous transformation that allowed her to showcase her extraordinary acting and dancing talents. She became the goddess of love in the eyes of millions of fans, a symbol of elegance and power. Her story is a poignant note in the symphony of beauty, reminding us of the price one must pay to reach the spotlight of fame. Closing the journey of these 12 legends, we see that behind every perfect face lies a story of determination and silent sacrifices. Whether to reach the heights of fame or to preserve confidence against the passage of time, cosmetic surgery became an indispensable part of creating the immortal icons of the 20th century. Their legacy is not only in their beauty, but also in the lesson of courage to live true to one's own desires. We hope today's video has brought you fresh and heartfelt perspectives. If you enjoyed the content, please give us a like and hit the subscribe button to explore more behind-the-scenes Hollywood secrets with us. Don't forget to leave a comment sharing your thoughts about the celebrity you admire the most. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next videos. Hollywood has always celebrated perfect beauty, but behind the glitz and glamour lie the pressures of appearance that few people see. Many stars have surprised the public with their drastically changed looks over time. Behind each face is not just plastic surgery, but also insecurity, trauma, and the harsh standards of the entertainment industry. Before we begin, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and comment below on the person who surprised you the most. Carrot Top, whose real name is Scott Thompson, first rose to fame as one of the most instantly recognizable comedians in the United States. His bright red hair, expressive face, and prop-heavy stage style made him a one-of-a-kind figure. But as Carrot Top's physique changed over time, becoming more muscular and appearing with sharper facial features, the public began to focus more on his appearance than on his comedy routines. What was once a defining stage identity gradually became the subject of endless speculation. For many years, the media and audiences raised countless questions about whether Carrot Top had undergone cosmetic procedures from his eyebrows and cheekbones to his lips and overall facial structure. However, he has often addressed these rumors in a calm, even humorous way, true to the style of a performer who knows how to turn attention into material for comedy. Whatever the truth behind those changes may be, what is clear is that Carrot Top became a victim of a very familiar kind of scrutiny. When a performer's appearance changes, people immediately try to turn it into a bigger story than their career itself. The notable thing is that Carrot Top has maintained a long performing career, especially in Las Vegas, where he continues to live on stage with his audiences. His appearance may have made him the subject of debate, but it is his persistence that has allowed him to endure in the demanding entertainment industry. Carrot Top's story does not necessarily need to be told as a heavy cautionary tale. It can also be seen as the journey of a comedian who is constantly stared at, yet still chooses to laugh at the scrutiny and continue doing what he does best, making people laugh. LaToya Jackson was born into a family where fame was both a blessing and a very heavy shadow. Carrying the Jackson name meant every gaze became more critical than usual. The public did not only listen to the music or watch the performances, but constantly compared each family member to one another. LaToya grew up within a music empire where talent, appearance, and media image were always placed on the scale. That context is precisely why her changing appearance cannot be seen as a simple beauty choice. Over the years, LaToya has appeared with a face that looks increasingly different from her younger years. The media often points to a slimmer nose, fuller lips, and more defined facial features. Those changes led many people to draw comparisons with Michael Jackson's own appearance journey, making the discussions even more persistent. But behind those speculations is a woman who has always lived under the pressure of her family name, where any change can easily be amplified into a much larger story. LaToya still makes her own mark, even though she's often compared to her more famous siblings. She's been a singer, author, and television personality, always knowing how to maintain her presence. Her story isn't just about plastic surgery, it also reflects the pressure of being born into a legendary family. Do you think LaToya is being judged too harshly by the public? Comment below, like, share, and subscribe to our channel to support us. Amanda Lepore is one of the most prominent icons of New York nightlife culture, where fashion, performance art, and personal identity blend together in a very distinctive way. She does not pursue a discreet or safe version of beauty, but instead builds an image of a vibrant, seductive, highly theatrical living doll. For Amanda, the body is not just a natural form, but also a medium for telling a story about freedom, rebirth, and the right to become the version of oneself one dreams of. Amanda's cosmetic journey is often noted for its boldness and consistency. She has openly spoken about numerous changes to her face and body, from her lips and nose to her breasts and curves, all shaped in a very distinctive style. But if Amanda is viewed only as an extreme cosmetic case, the most important part of her story would be missed. She did not transform her appearance simply to attract attention. She turned her look into living art, into a personal brand, and into a statement that beauty can be created, not necessarily inherited. What makes Amanda Lepore especially distinctive is that she has never apologized for her differences. In a world that often pressures people to shrink themselves in order to be accepted, Amanda chooses instead to amplify everything color features femininity and presence. She appears in fashion, music, photography, and popular culture as a figure seemingly stepped out of imagination. Amanda's story should not be told through a sensational lens, but with the recognition that for some people, transforming the body is a way of reclaiming ownership over their own lives. Heidi Montag was once a familiar face in American reality television, especially during the era when the Hills dominated popular entertainment culture. She entered fame at a very young age, right at a time when tabloids and paparazzi were at their most aggressive. Every photo, every outfit, and every small change in her appearance could become a headline. In that environment, Heidi gradually became drawn into the idea that in order to survive longer in the entertainment industry, she had to constantly enhance and control her image. The most shocking part of Heidi's story is that she underwent multiple cosmetic procedures in a single day, including changes to both her face and body. When she reappeared afterward, she looked very different from her original youthful image, leaving the public both curious and concerned. Later on, Heidi shared that the decision was not as simple as the media portrayed. It involved pain pressure, difficult recovery, and complex emotions upon realizing she had changed so dramatically in such a short period of time. What is worth reflecting on is that Heidi was not only a reality TV star trying to become more noticeable, she was also a product of an era in which young women were taught that appearance was a ticket to being liked, chosen, and kept in the spotlight. In the years that followed, as she looked back on her journey, Heidi became a clear example of the cost of letting external pressure shape internal confidence. Her story is not meant for judgment, but to remind viewers that changes to the body should always be accompanied by awareness, care, and self-compassion. Pete Burns was one of the most unmistakable figures in the British music scene. With his band, Dead or Alive, and the hit song You Spin Me Round, he entered popular culture with a rebellious look, captivating vocals, and an outrageously provocative fashion style. Pete never wanted to be a safe kind of star. From the beginning, he viewed his personal image as part of performance art, where gender, beauty, and visibility could all be reimagined in his own way. Over time, Pete Burns' cosmetic journey became a major part of his life story. He openly spoke about various procedures on his lips, cheeks, nose, and face, and also acknowledged complications that significantly affected both his health and appearance. What people remember about Pete is not only the number of procedures, but also his frankness in talking about them. He did not avoid his mistakes or try to hide the pain, but instead turned those experiences into part of a raw and uncompromising public persona. Despite years of media scrutiny, Pete Burns maintains a sharp, humorous spirit and refuses to let others define him. He views his body as a work of art that can be transformed, much like how artists choose their performance costumes. However, behind this strength lies a warning about the risks of repeated cosmetic procedures. Do you think Pete is a symbol of individual freedom or a testament to the price of excessive transformation? Please comment, like, share, and subscribe to our channel to support us. Janice Dickinson has often called herself one of the world's first supermodels, and although that claim has been debated, no one can deny her influence in the fashion industry. At the height of her career, Janice represented a sharp, powerful, and highly confident standard of beauty. But modeling is one of the most unforgiving industries when it comes to age. When the camera's spotlight constantly demands perfection, maintaining a youthful appearance is no longer a simple personal choice, but almost a part of professional survival. Over the years, Janice has openly spoken about cosmetic procedures and beauty treatments, including facelifts, Botox fillers, and body contouring procedures. Unlike many celebrities who prefer to stay silent, Janice often discusses these topics with a candid and sometimes unexpectedly humorous attitude. She is fully aware that the media will talk, but she also does not hesitate to acknowledge that the entertainment industry places enormous pressure on women's bodies, especially those once celebrated for their looks. What makes Janice's story notable is not how much or how little she has changed, but the way she has confronted those changes. She has moved through fame, scandal, reality, television, and criticism while continuing to maintain her own voice. Janice is not a perfect role model, but it is precisely that imperfection that makes her feel more real. Her story reflects a familiar reality in Hollywood. Women are expected to stay young forever, yet when they try to preserve that youth, they are judged for trying too hard. Lil' Kim entered the hip-hop scene with a bold, powerful image unlike anyone else. She was not only a successful female rapper, but also a fashion icon and a symbol of confidence and rebellion in the 1990s. But behind that strong persona was a woman living in an entertainment environment full of pressure, where the appearance of black women was often judged by deeply contradictory standards. The more famous Lil' Kim became, the harsher the commentary on her face skin tone and body grew. Over time, Lil' Kim's appearance changed noticeably, leading the media and the public to continuously speculate about nose jobs, breast augmentation, facial reshaping, and a lighter skin tone. However, if this story is seen only as a series of cosmetic procedures, the deeper context would be missed. Lil' Kim has spoken about being hurt by criticism of her appearance in the past. When someone is repeatedly told they are not pretty enough, not soft enough, or not aligned with beauty standards, the choices to change oneself can come from very real pain. The important thing is that Lil' Kim should not be reduced to before and after photos. She is an artist who paved the way for many female rappers who came after her, someone who brought sexuality, power, and individuality into hip-hop in a way that had never been seen before. The debates about her appearance may continue, but they do not erase her impact on music and culture. Lil' Kim's story is a reminder that behind a changing appearance can lie social pressure, personal pain, and a desire to be seen as more than just a face. Priscilla Presley entered popular culture history not only because of her marriage to Elvis Presley, but also because of her classic, elegant, and somewhat mysterious beauty. In her youth, she carried a distinctly Hollywood kind of allure, thick dark hair, sharp eyes, and a sophisticated presence that made it hard for the public to look away. But being the woman associated with the king of rock and roll also meant that Priscilla had to live for decades under constant scrutiny. Her age, appearance, and every change in her face were examined as part of the Presley legacy. Priscilla's cosmetic story became especially notable because she was reportedly a victim of an unlicensed doctor who injected an unapproved substance into the faces of several celebrities. Rather than being a simple beauty choice, this experience turned into a warning about the risks of misplaced trust. The changes in Priscilla's appearance sparked public discussion, but behind them lies a far more serious story. Even celebrities can be harmed by unsafe promises of beauty. What's admirable is that Priscilla Presley didn't let the debates about her appearance overshadow her role. She continued to defend Elvis's legacy, participate in artistic projects, and support the Presley family's activities. This story reminds us that cosmetic procedures should always be performed at reputable medical facilities. Do you think the public was too harsh on Priscilla's changes? Leave a comment, like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel to continue supporting us. Tara Reid was once a familiar face in late 1990s and early 2000s teen films. With her bright appearance, radiant smile, and free-spirited energy, she quickly became a pop culture icon of that era. But as Hollywood's spotlight grew brighter, the pressure to maintain her appearance also became heavier. Tara appeared during a time when entertainment media was especially harsh toward women's bodies, where every small change could be magnified into a hurtful headline. Tara's cosmetic surgery story is most often associated with body procedures, especially liposuction and breast augmentation. She has openly spoken about having had unsatisfactory experiences following certain interventions, which led to her appearance being heavily scrutinized for many years. Unfortunately, rather than receiving sympathy, Tara was often turned into the subject of ridicule. Paparazzi photos, harsh comments, and sensationalist articles turned her personal story into a public trial. But Tara Reid is not just a controversial cosmetic surgery case, as the media once framed her. She is a woman who lived through a time when personal mistakes were permanently preserved on the internet. Her willingness to acknowledge her negative experiences also shows rare courage, because not every celebrity dares to speak honestly about choices that cause them pain. Looking back at her journey, Tara's story should not be told with sarcasm, but as a reminder that beauty standards can push people into decisions that take a long time to heal from afterward. Farrah Abraham entered the public eye at a very young age through reality television, where her personal life had almost no private space. From a young woman who became a mother early, she quickly turned into a controversial figure on the small screen. But along with fame came increasing pressure about appearance. Farrah grew up in front of the camera in an environment where every change in her face and body was publicly commented on. For many reality TV stars, appearance is not just a personal matter, but also becomes part of their brand. Over the years, Farrah has openly undergone numerous cosmetic and aesthetic procedures, from nose jobs and chin reshaping to breast augmentation, as well as changes to her lips and eye area. Some of her public appearances drew strong attention because the results look very different from her original image. At times, she also experienced unintended reactions following cosmetic procedures, which led the media to further sensationalize her story. But behind those headlines is a young woman caught in the whirlwind of fame, where attention sometimes comes precisely from the most controversial changes. Farrah Abraham's story is not only about cosmetic surgery, but also reflects the darker side of reality television. When a person is turned into a character for audiences to watch, judge, and comment on continuously, the boundary between personal choice and market pressure becomes blurred. Farrah may be a polarizing figure, but her journey still reminds viewers that early fame is not always a gift. Sometimes it forces people to keep changing in order to maintain attention, even when it costs them a sense of peace with themselves. Tori Spelling grew up in a powerful Hollywood family, but that did not mean her path was any easier. As the daughter of the famous television producer Aaron Spelling, Tori was always placed under a very particular level of scrutiny. When she appeared in Beverly Hills 90210, she became a familiar face to young audiences, but also quickly became a target of comments about her appearance. For Tori, fame did not come only from talent or roles, but also brought a constant need to prove herself in an extremely unforgiving industry. Over the years, Tori has faced numerous rumors related to cosmetic surgery and changes in her appearance. The media often references her nose, breasts, skin, and facial features as subjects for comparison over time. What is unfortunate is that these discussions often overlook the fact that Tori entered Hollywood at a very young age, when beauty standards for young women left little room for naturalness or imperfection. Every red carpet photo and public appearance could become an invisible source of pressure. Tori Spelling's story shouldn't be viewed solely through the lens of aesthetic scrutiny. It's also the journey of a woman living amidst privileged expectations and relentless judgment. Despite decades of intense scrutiny, she has maintained her presence through films, books, and reality television. Appearance may change, but the willpower to keep moving forward is what truly matters. Do you think the public has been too harsh on Tori? Please comment, like, share the video, and subscribe to our channel to support us. Kenny Rogers once had a very distinctive face, silver hair, gentle eyes, a warm smile, and the presence of a storyteller through music. With his deeply emotional country songs, he did not need a glamorous appearance to win over audiences. Kenny brought a sense of closeness, experience, and sincerity. But as age advanced, even a music legend was not entirely free from the pressure to maintain his public image. In the entertainment industry, aging is sometimes treated as something to be hidden. Kenny Rogers openly spoke about his decision to undergo eyelid surgery and expressed that the results did not turn out as he had initially hoped. His honesty made his story different from many celebrities who choose to stay silent. Kenny did not try to turn it into a secret, nor did he blame anyone. He simply admitted that he had wanted to look younger, but later realized that the change made him feel like he was not entirely himself anymore. It was a simple yet deeply human reflection. What is admirable is that Kenny Rogers did not let a cosmetic choice define his entire life. Audiences remember him first for his voice for The Gambler, for his heartfelt ballads, and for the warmth he brought to the stage. Kenny's story is a gentle reminder that even legends can feel insecure about aging. But the true beauty of an artist does not lie in whether their face remains unchanged, but in the emotions they leave behind in the hearts of listeners. Daryl Hannah was one of the distinctive beauty icons of 1980s cinema. With Splash, Blade Runner, and many other memorable roles, she brought a look that was both delicate and unconventional, not entirely fitting the traditional Hollywood standard of glamour. Daryl had a mysterious, cool, and natural presence that made her instantly recognizable on screen. But precisely because she was once so widely praised for her appearance, every change in her over time was easily amplified by the public. For many years, Daryl Hannah was subject to speculation about cosmetic procedures when her face appeared different at certain events. However, not every change in a public figure's appearance can be attributed to surgery. Aging, lighting, makeup, camera angles, health, and media pressure can all alter how someone is perceived. Therefore, Daryl's story should be told more carefully, not as an accusation, but as an example of how Hollywood treats women when they no longer look exactly like their younger selves. What is more memorable is that Daryl Hannah is not only a beautiful face from classic cinema, she is also an artist with a strong personal identity, someone who cares about the environment, sustainable living, and various social causes beyond the screen. When the media focuses too much on whether her appearance has changed, it easily overlooks a person who has chosen to live outside conventional Hollywood glamour. Daryl's story reminds us that a woman should not be frozen forever in her youthful image, just to satisfy the audience's nostalgia. Axl Rose was the embodiment of an untamable kind of rock star. When Guns N' Roses exploded onto the scene with Welcome to the Jungle, Sweet Child O' Mine and November Rain, he was remembered not only for his distinctive voice, but also for his long hair, rebellious gaze, and intense stage energy. The young Axl was like a storm emerging from 1980s rock culture, wild, unpredictable, and magnetic. Because that image was so powerful, the public has always compared his later appearances to that legendary past. Over the years, Axl Rose's appearance has changed significantly, leading many fans and media outlets to speculate about whether he has undergone cosmetic procedures. The discussions often focus on a fuller face, tighter-looking skin, and differences compared to his peak years. However, it is not fair to turn every change in an aging man into a definite conclusion about surgery. Age, weight fluctuations, stage lighting, makeup, and the pressures of touring can all dramatically alter how an artist is perceived by the public. What stands out is that Axl Rose does not need to preserve his youthful face in order to prove his worth. His legacy lies in his voice, his electrifying performances, and his undeniable mark on rock history. If there is a quiet tragedy in this story, it is that the public often wants icons to remain frozen in the memories they once had of them. But real people age, change, and carry the marks of time. Axl Rose may no longer look like the young man he once was, but the rock spirit that defined his name is something audiences will never forget. What made Joan Rivers so distinctive is that she never allowed cosmetic surgery to turn her into a media victim. She took control of the narrative before others could mock her. That sense of agency is what made her both controversial and admirable. Her story is not only about a face that underwent many procedures, but also about a woman who used humor to push back against aging judgment and the harshness of the entertainment industry. Joan Rivers could joke about herself, but behind every joke was a truth that Hollywood could hardly deny. These stories show that the transformation of celebrities' appearances isn't just about a single surgery or a few before and after photos. Behind each choice may lie the pressure of aging, harsh beauty standards, insecurity, trauma, and the desire for acceptance. Some are happy, some regret it, and some face long-lasting complications. Regardless of the outcome, they